simple to-do list application using Flask, SQLAlchemy, and HTML CSS. This project will allow users to add tasks with descriptions and priorities and also delete them when completed. Now let's go through the code step by step. So we start by importing all the important necessary modules we require. So including Flask to build the web application, render template to load the HTML files, and request to handle the form submissions. Redirect is for page navigation, and SQLAlchemy for database management. Now coming to the next part, which is this. So here we define a database model for our tasks using SQLAlchemy, and this is how we've initialized it using tasks.db. Now using the class task is how we actually initialize a table in the database. So the table contains 4 columns: ID, content, description, and priority. ID being our primary key and it is of the integer type, content being string and a required field, description being string and a not required field, priority being an integer and a required field. Then we come on to the routing tables. So we have 3 forms. The first is the home page, that is displaying our task, displaying all the tasks. The home route retrieves all the tasks from the database, sorting them by priority. It then renders them inside an HTML template to be displayed on the web page. So why we're doing the order by is just so that the most important task appears on top. Then we have the adding a new task. To add a new task, we create a route that listens for post requests. When the form is submitted, the task content, description, and priority are extracted from the form, as we can see here. After that, if the task content exists, we create a new task, we pass it into the template, and then these are the 2 commands we use: db.session.add to add a new task and db.session.commit. This particular piece of command is required to commit any sort of changes and to save them. And then we redirect it to the home page so that all the new tasks are displayed properly. Then we come on to deleting a task. This allows users to remove a task. We define a delete route that accepts a task ID as a parameter, and then it searches for the task in the database and deletes if found. Again, we're doing db.session.commit and then we're again redirecting to the home page. Now we come on to running the application. Before running the application, we ensure that the database is created using SQLAlchemy's built-in function. After that, we run the Flask application in the debug. Talking about the front end and with HTML and CSS, HTML forms for adding the task. The front end consists of an HTML form that allows users to enter a task title, description, and priority. Once the details are filled in, the form submits the data to the backend. So this is where we're doing it. This is where we're creating the form that gets in the data and then it submits it to the backend. Now next comes displaying all the tasks. So for that we have this. Now the task list is dynamically generated using a loop in the HTML template. As we can see, we have the for loop here, which is how we generate the task list. And if it has a description, it also displays that. Now coming to the styling that we have done with CSS. To enhance the user interface, CSS is used to style this page. The form is centered. As we can see, the form centered and the button is green colored, and when we hover over it, the color changes. And each task item, it is styled with a white color, and it's placed inside a box, which it just enhances and makes it more aesthetically pleasing. So if we go on to the actual application, so this is how the whole front end looks like. We have the form here, we have the submit button, and then we have this heading. So when we add a task, for example, get groceries, and in description we add what all we want, and for priority, let's just make it as my second priority for the day, and then I add the task. So this is the tab for a single task item that I was talking about. So this is the block, and whenever we hover over it, we see the color change. So let's add another task like getting your homework done. And then suppose I need to get my English essay done on first priority today. So as we see, the homework, it appears above the groceries because it had more priority. And suppose I'm already done with it now. So I hover over it, it turns red, and then when I click on it, it gets deleted. So thank you so much for watching.